He's the one drinking beer. I'm drinking water.
2 touchdowns a game?
Yes, in the game.
You're tripping.
How you high? No,
Greatest
high
Super Bowl
expectations.
I don't know what we're doing in the front office, man.
Twiddling our fucking dick.
Ryan, I just need you to drink this.
Wide receiver trivia. That's what she said.
Her.
Fuck.
Her upset.
Are those crutches?
You can see Ryan's crutches.
What is going on, folks? Welcome back. Welcome back to your favorite show on the internet. This is After Further Review, episode 212. I am your co-host, Jalen Brown.
And I am our other co-host, Malin Dennis.
And I'm your other great co-host, Nestor.
And our special first half guest this week, who is still in the great state of Florida for, I believe, the final week.
State.
Boo. June Bug Spade. What's going on,
Hey,
June?
What's up, fellas? Yep,
Not only
I'm
is he
still
Florida,
in Florida. Yes, sir. Last
down the
couple
road
days.
from the president.
Yeah.
Best state in the country. Who said that?
June was right down the street from the block party last night.
Yeah,
Block party.
yeah.
We want to thank you, sir, for not only being there but also being here tonight. Much
You know the
appreciated.
crazy thing about Florida, Jalen, is that more people voted for the abortion amendment than legalizing weed. I didn't know that that'd be more popular. I'm a little bit upset that neither of them passed, but the fact that I'm like 45% only want weed legal, and you had 57% being like,
We went full Florida last night.
Florida's
That's all I'll-
wild, man.
That's all I'll say.
Florida wild,
Wild.
fellas.
Full retarded.
It's been a wild ride in Florida.
I always blame the Everglades. I think that moisture gets sucked up through there and then rains down on us, and it's just insane.
Does
So let's
something
take a
to
shot.
us. Yes, gentlemen, to a great show. Nestor has a McDonald's.
What is that? Is that McDonald's?
McDonald's.
The fuck? Are you drinking coffee?
You're always going to see a variety of different things in my hand. Let's start the
I
show.
don't. I don't want to see a variety of different things in your hand tonight. Nestor.
Yeah, let's slow it down then. This ain't that type of party, Nestor.
Why did you say that?
He's like, whoa.
Gotta be, take that BBC to a whole other level here in about 5 minutes.
Why did you do that? All right. Folks, this is still an NFL and NBA podcast, even though at times
Yes,
it doesn't seem like it.
sometimes.
Mhm.
If you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, it's the big red button or the first link down in your podcast description. Be sure to click that if you want to be notified every time we go live, which is every Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And be sure to give the video a like, the YouTube video a like, because it always helps the channel grow, helps more people find us. Besides that, that's pretty much it. Let's just hop right into things for this week, which we're going to start off with a recap of last week in the NFL. Week 9, we had the Eagles beating the Jags by a score of 28-23. And the Jags still proven to be the Jags, god awful. And the Eagles are starting to roll here. So my question to you guys is, who do you think is going to win the NFC East, with the Eagles and the Commanders being neck and neck for the top of that division? June, we will start with you since you are the resident Cowboys fan.
Right. So, I was, after you sent me the thing today, I did a little research on both the Eagles and the Commanders. I mean, I know pretty much all about them, but I wanted to check one stat that I thought was very important for a playoff push and in the playoffs. And the one thing that I kept saying about the Commanders was this: they have to improve their offensive line. Yes, they're playing great right now. Yes, they got a good record. But the second half of the season is starting right now. And this is where it all starts to count. I give the edge to the Eagles to win the division. I'm going to tell you why. The Eagles' offensive line is ranked 4th in the NFL. That's pretty damn good when you start talking about top teams. Okay? When your offensive line is at that level, that means they're blocking, you're taking less sacks. That means there's less fumbles, there's less interceptions, there's less everything. The Commanders, who haven't turned the ball over that much, but their offensive line is ranked 27th in the NFL. That's not good for a top team, because yes, Jaden Daniels can escape and do all that stuff, but it really starts to catch up with you later in the season, especially when it starts to get cold and all, teams start to figure you out. So he's going to have to watch that. I still believe that they're going to end up with about 6 losses. At this point right now, I can see them with about 6 losses. And that's just because their offensive line is just not good. And when they get into the playoffs, now you're starting to play against, in your conference, you're playing against the top 7 defensive lines in the NFL, in that conference. And you got the 27th worst offensive line. That's not a good recipe. So that's why I give the edge to the Eagles.
6 losses. Okay. Malin.
Yeah, I can't really argue with him talking about the offensive line. And I can't even really argue that Washington's going to end up with 6 losses, because I think that the Eagles could end up with 6 or 7 losses as well. I do think that Washington plays Dallas twice. That's 2 wins. New Orleans and Tennessee, that's a couple other wins. They play Pittsburgh and Philly the next 2 weeks. So it's kind of fun that we get to talk about who's going to win the division. And the cool thing is that these teams haven't even played each other yet.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that I'll say, and the reason why I think that Washington has a good chance of winning this division, is 2 reasons. One, Jaden McDaniels is outplaying Jalen Hurts this year. Better passing percentage, less turnovers, only 1 less passing touchdown. I know that Jalen Hurts has 8 rushing touchdowns to Jalen Hurts 4 touchdowns, but that just goes more towards game planning. Those touchdowns could easily be going to Saquon Barkley and not Jalen Hurts, but it's just the way that Philly runs the ball when they're in the goal line, so that's why Hurts gets those touchdowns. I'm still not a believer in Jalen Hurts. I'm a believer in Jaden McDaniels. If Washington can protect this guy the way that they did not protect RG3, I think they're going to be good. And they might have a worse offensive line, but the Eagles put Jalen Hurts in harm's way more than Washington puts McDaniels in harm's way, just by the nature of the way they run the offense. And is anybody really thinking that Saquon Barkley is going to be healthy the whole year? I don't know. I mean, he's great when he plays, but he's only had 2 years so far. 1 year, I think, total where he played every game. Only 2 years where he played more than 12 games. So does he stay healthy? Maybe. I mean, Christian McCaffrey, when he went to San Francisco, he stayed healthy. So maybe that happens. I mean, we just saw him do a backwards hurdle on somebody, which was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen a running back do, and that was ballsy. Turning your back and hurdling somebody backwards. That just shouldn't happen in the NFL. That guy should be cut. Who that happened to. But yeah, so I kind of feel like Washington, even though we were dead wrong about them, dead wrong about it. I kind of feel like they got a little bit of an edge right now. And I think they have a better coach because Sirianni, I don't trust that man as a coach. I think he's the most fraudulent two-loss coach in the NFL right now. I don't trust him. He's going to cost them games at some point.
All right, Nestor.
I feel like if I had stock on the Commanders, which I wish I would have in the beginning of the season, I wouldn't buy now. And if I had stock, I'd be ready to get to sell a little bit. Because I feel like they've made great progress, and nobody can deny the talent they have with Jaden Daniels. But I feel like the next few games, even just the next one against the Steelers, it's just going to be a big test. And they haven't been here in a while. They haven't had a winning record in a while, and this is the final second half of the season. You're gonna go into playoffs possibly, and I just feel like they haven't been here in a while, and the lack of experience is gonna hurt them. And what June was saying about the O line, that's one of the ways that they can struggle. And great teams, I feel like they can cover up some of their weaknesses better. I feel like the Eagles, I'm buying stock in them, but they've been here before. They know how it is to disappoint. They know how it is to get to a Super Bowl. That wide receiver duo they have is amazing. They have AJ Brown out. It's okay. Devontae Smith is just going to catch a hell of a ball for a touchdown. Like, it just doesn't matter. Saquon Barkley is playing out of his mind. Yes, the only point is that Jalen Hurts just seems a bit mediocre. But I just feel like they could possibly get it together just in time. I just don't like the fact that the Commanders don't have that experience. I think we're going to see that.
I'm just going to look at the Commander's schedule real quick, and y'all tell me where all these losses are coming in. Steelers could go either way. They do have the Eagles, could go either way. After that, Dallas, Tennessee, New Orleans. Really?
Yeah, rip off 3 straight right there.
And they still have...
I think Tennessee's going to give them a good game, honestly.
A good game off. That'll be their good competition right there.
Mason Rudolph is I have a career game. You're right.
Yeah,
Will Levis is too busy doing Mayo commercials.
Philly still has Baltimore on their schedule. They also have Pittsburgh. They have LA on their schedule. So theirs just seems tougher to me than what Washington's got to deal with. But yeah, we're gonna kind of touch back on this in community comments. So let's go to the next game here, which was the Bills beating the Dolphins 30-27. This is a great game. But once again, Tua cannot beat the Bills. So, June, why can't the Dolphins just not get the Bills?
It's in their head, man. It's in their head. They are sitting there beating themselves. I mean, A-Chain was amazing in this game. Okay? And I thought, I was like, okay, the Dolphins is going to pull this game out. Now, it was an amazing kick because, hey, but to lose to a 61-yarder, I'm okay with that. I'm okay. But the fact that they just, in the Bills, it's like the Bills in the 90s, man. You remember how they used to just beat Dan Marino down? I mean, every year, the Miami in the 90s, Dan Marino had to play against his Bills teams. People don't realize that the Bills and the Dolphins pretty much played every year for the AFC Championship game and played for the AFC East, and the Dolphins always lost. They just came up short. They was in their head, and that's what it seems to be now. It's just into his head that he can't beat this team. And this team has got to find a way. The coach, Mike McDaniels, he's got to find a way to beat this team. I don't know what motivation it's going to take or what they can do, but right now they're just a step slower than the Buffalo Bills. So,
Malin.
Make it easy on you. One team has a quarterback that makes people better, and another team has a quarterback that needs great people around him for him to be better. Josh Allen, it doesn't matter who's in that lineup, man. He wins games. And he's cut his turnovers down, which was the biggest knock against him. Better defensive philosophy in Buffalo. Better coached. I still like McDaniels as a coach. His offensive mind is great. If the Dolphins had someone like Josh Allen, I think they might be damn near unbeatable like the Chiefs, to be honest with you. But Tua needs great people around him for him to be great. Josh Allen makes other people around him better than what they are. And when you have a quarterback like that, you're going to beat the quarterback that needs the people more often than not. So I just think that Buffalo is the standard still in the AFC East right now. They might not be winning the chips that New England did when they were dominating the division right now, but they're dominating the division in a big way.
Nestor.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. Josh Allen is he gets the wins. He knows how to manage the game better, in my opinion, and he's cut down on a lot of stupid, boneheaded mistakes that we saw a couple years ago. So he's definitely grown a lot, and I also think we've had a string of bad luck, man. Like Tua's gotten injured a lot with those concussions, and it hasn't helped us much. Not this year, but the year before, I think it was, or before that. I don't know. He's gotten concussions every year. I feel like, we just there was a game I think 2 or 3 years ago where we beat him out. Like there was no question about it. We were the better team on that field, and we did everything right. And I felt like we're better than this team. And at the end of the week, we're better than the Bills. And from there on out, it's just been injuries, or it's just been, I feel like, bad choices by Tua. And then he gets injured, and then we created this narrative ourselves that we just can't beat the Bills because we just ran into a lot of bad decisions and injuries. And I mean, I'm proud of them, what they did the other day, but I would love to finally beat the Bills next year.
And can I ask one question real quick, Jalen, before you go? Because this is something that's kind of been bothering me with the narrative in NFL this year. And I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. I'm sorry. Why is it that everyone is just unanimously assuming that Lamar Jackson is running away with the MVP race right now? Because when I look at the stats, like just let me give them to you real quick between Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. Lamar Jackson, 68% completion, 2,300 yards, 20 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 500 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. Okay? That's Lamar Jackson. Now, when I go to Buffalo and I'm looking at Josh Allen, he's at, 64 completion. He's got over 2,000 yards. He's 17-2. And he's only got 260 yards rushing, but he has 3 touchdowns. Like, I think it's a lot closer than what people are saying. And let's be real. Baltimore has a better running back than Buffalo. And I don't think that that Shakir or Coleman or Kincaid are better than Flowers and Andrews likely, and who's the other guy that they got there in Baltimore? Like, I think, oddly enough, that Lamar Jackson has better weapons around him,
Yeah.
and Josh Allen is keeping pace with less around him. And so I don't. Everyone just seems to think it's a runaway right now.
Yeah.
And I think that it's like a 1A, 1B right now between those two. I don't get it.
I think it really just comes down to the Dolphins' defense cannot contain Josh Allen at all. He always has a game against them, and just looking back the past couple of years, this past game he threw for 235 yards. When they played them earlier this year, only 139 yards, but that was game 2 and went down, and they just ran the ball all over the Dolphins. Previous to that, though, playoff game, 359 yards, 320 yards, 304 yards, 400 yards. He has torched them these past couple of years.
Jim Kelly.
And barely any
Jim Kelly
turnovers.
reborn.
There was, including last Sunday, 3 interceptions against them in the last 2 years. So he just plays out of his mind. And it's like, yo, you've got to force him to play like he plays against some other teams where he'll be a little more loosey-goosey with the ball. But yeah, Mike McDaniels, man, got to figure that one out instead of just letting him throw a party every time.
He's so much better without Stephon Diggs, man. He's not forcing the ball to defeat a deal.
Yep.
All right, let's get to the last game here. Chiefs and the Bucks on Monday night. This one went into overtime. 30-24 was the final score. Another one. The Chiefs just got it done again in the end with D-Hop having a game.
Oh, my goodness. Everybody thought he was done.
Right.
Everybody thought he was done.
Well, everyone forgot he was still in the league because he played for Tennessee.
Exactly.
Yeah.
June, do you think that the Chiefs are going undefeated this year?
No. They're not going undefeated. The Chargers are going to get one game from them. The Chargers are they win those sneaky teams, and the Chargers may not make the playoffs this year, but they're sneaky enough to pull out a win over Kansas City. And there may be 1 or 2 games. They may end up losing 3 games when it's all said and done. But I think the one team that I can say that's definitely going to beat them is going to be the Chargers. I think they're well coached. They've got a lot of youth on that team. You got a head coach who's been around the block a couple of times. But I think he's savvy enough to go out there and get the win against the Chiefs. So no, I don't believe they're going undefeated.
Malin?
Well, I mean, first of all, I think the Chargers will be a playoff team. They're 5-3. They got the number 1 defense in the NFL. When I say number 1 defense, number 1 scoring defense, I don't care about yards. They've only given up 101 points. Jim Harbaugh has turned this team around. They're 5-3, and they're one of only 7 teams in the AFC with a winning record. We're all just sleeping on them. I do agree with June that the Chiefs are playing with fire this whole year. Yes, they're undefeated, and everybody can continue to laugh at me when I say that the Lions are better. I'm just saying that. Hey,
come on, dog. You gotta let that shit go.
Hold on.
You have to let that shit go, bro.
The power rankings on ESPN and NFL Network are agreeing with me. Pro Football Focus agrees with me. And here's the thing.
Bro.
Yeah, the eye test. The eye test is easy because Detroit's blowing people out and Kansas City is barely winning games. The only convincing win that Kansas City has this year is against San Francisco when San Francisco was without McCaffrey, Debo, Ayuk, and Kittle, and Trent Williams. That's the only convincing win that San Francisco has. Keep in mind also that Kansas City is plus 56 on point differential. They've scored 203 points, given up 147. Detroit, on the other hand, has scored 258, given up 148. They're plus 110. They're more than 50 points better in the
Sure.
point differential than Kansas
Sure.
City. So, and luck has everything to do with it sometimes when you win games and when you have the refs help. And keep in mind, no, you don't get to do this. You don't get to play this game with me because there's so many times when we're like, oh, one team is a game better than another, but the other team might be better. We do it all the time. We're talking about a 1-game difference between these two. 1-game difference. Do you really think it's that far-fetched that Detroit and Kansas City end up with the same record this year? Is it
They
that
could.
far-fetched to think that's going to happen?
But one team has Jared Goff and the other team has Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, you want to talk about those stats? Because
What?
one's
No,
playing
no.
a hell of a lot better than the other.
Jared Goff put up better
One's
numbers
playing a
than
hell of
Tom
a lot
Brady when they went
better.
to the Super Bowl. And he got his ass whooped by Tom Brady. Remember that?
Well,
Remember
the
that?
other team had Bill Belichick on the other side. He was a defensive genius.
And also the Rams had a way better team than the Patriots did that year. I mean, they were killing teams that season.
Not defensively, they didn't. The Patriots had one of the best defenses in the league. All I'm saying is that the Chiefs and the Chiefs and the Lions defense are almost even. They're almost even.
Okay.
They've given up 1 point. And the Lions offense is better than the Chiefs offense this year. You can't tell me it's not.
That's fine.
You can't tell me the Lions offense isn't better.
But Mahomes is better than Goff.
Yeah, Mahomes is better at faking ankle injuries right now.
My God.
But oh yeah, he got carried off the field and was back there on the next possession. Let's not act like there wasn't a little bit of Paul Pierce and LeBron James stuff acting on over there with the playing it. But I'm just saying, and Pro Football Focus, NFL Network, and ESPN agree with me. So yeah, they're definitely going to lose some games. They're definitely going to lose some games because they're playing with fire. They can't always get the refs' help every single time they win a game. You let the Bucks without their 2 best wide receivers score 24 points on you. The Lions lost 20-16 to the Bucks early in the year when they had Godwin and Evans. So I'm just saying
that's not making your case.
It is. You just don't want to hear it. You just don't want to hear it. You sound like someone at 2:30 in the morning thinking Kamala Harris is still going to win the election. Is what you sound like. You guys don't like facts. You guys don't like facts.
Nestor, are the Chiefs going undefeated?
I think their first L, if I had to choose a game, would be against the Bills. I feel like the Broncos might give them a better game than people think. Bo Nix, man. Bo Nix. And that defense. No joke.
Could steal one.
And I don't really have a lot of faith in the Chargers. I'm sorry. I don't. Great coaching, but I don't have a lot of faith in them. They just need more weapons. But yeah, I feel like they could lose to the Bills. Maybe. And maybe, I don't know, they could relax towards the end of the season, maybe take another L. It's just hard when you're playing against the Chiefs and the refs. Or it's just the same thing. But it's difficult, man. Like I have it like I don't know. I don't know what to even think. This season has been wild. How I would have never imagined they would have lost Rasheed Rice, and then Kelsey would have started off so slow, and Pacheco is out, and they're still undefeated.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I would just like to point out one thing, Jalen. One thing.
Carson Steele.
One quarterback is completing 69% of his passes with 11 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. The other is completing 74.9% of their passes with 14 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. But we're going to pretend like the other one's not as good as the other quarterback this year. That's fine. That's fine.
He's not.
Fine.
He's not. He's still Jared Goff. He's still
fine.
Jared Goff.
Hey,
He's still Jared Goff. We've seen
Okay,
this story before.
you keep okay. You
We've
keep okay.
seen
You can
this
keep,
story before.
okay, but you can keep
Okay.
saying that Jared Goff is Jared Goff, but you can't say that Patrick Mahomes is still Patrick Mahomes this year.
Yes, I
He's
can.
fallen off. He is not playing
Yes, I can.
good ball. No.
Yes, I can.
The man
11
hasn't lost a
touchdowns and 9
game.
interceptions.
Dude,
11 touchdowns and 9
he just
interceptions.
got DeAndre Hopkins. Just
11
got him. And you
touchdowns
saw
and
what he
9
did the other
interceptions.
night. He just got DeAndre Hopkins, and look what he did.
One quarterback may have lost one more game, but he has a 6% better completion percentage. He has 3 more touchdowns, and he has 5 less interceptions. And you want to tell me that the other quarterback is playing better than him this year? Like I'm not talking about career. I'm talking about right now this year. Jared Goff is playing better than Patrick Mahomes.
I would love to see. I would
You
love
can
to
ignore
see.
the facts. You could be the Democratic chair if you want to and ignore the facts. But the facts are the facts. It's just the numbers. I'm just giving you numbers.
Jared Goff is playing better this year, but we got to wait to see him in the playoffs. That's what we need. That's when it counts in the playoffs. Because my quarterback gets judged all the time by the playoffs. Okay? But so we got to judge Jared Goff the same way. He got to get judged by his playoff. That's it.
Okay, well, we'll see what he does this year. But
I would love to see.
Tell me.
I would love to see a Bills and Lions Super Bowl.
That would be nice.
Refs ain't allowing that one. All right. Let's get up out of this. Let's get up out of this segment. Before we get to the news, would like to mention we've got a Discord. It's free to join. After further review, Discord always linked down in the description below. So if you want to come through and talk ball with your boys, go ahead and click that link down in your description below. Usually it's a bit more lively on Sunday afternoons, so be sure to come check it out. All right, let's get into the news for the week. We'll get through these probably pretty quickly. Dennis Allen got fired as the head coach of the Saints after losing to the Panthers 23-22 in a kind of embarrassing fashion. What do you guys think? Do you think he deserved to lose his head coaching job here, or was this uncalled for?
Yeah.
Yes, he deserved to lose it.
He deserved to lose it.
He deserved it.
You can't. I mean, boy, what a difference 6 weeks makes. Yeah, they're out there just blowing people out first 2 weeks. When you have wide receivers talking shit about your quarterback on social media, you've completely lost your locker room. The ineptitude of this team, the lack of leadership and discipline, it's just insane. Yeah, he deserves to get fired. None of us thought they were going to be a great team. And they definitely overachieved the first 2 weeks, but he shouldn't have been the head coach going into this year. They should have fired him after last year. He's just not a good head coach. Good coordinator. Good coordinator. Bad head coach.
Hey, you want to hear something crazy? Dennis Allen's been fired twice, and Derek Carr has been his quarterback both times.
That's messed up.
I'm like, dude, what is wrong with you?
Little eyeliner
It
Carr.
won't happen again. Tell you that much.
Oh
all
my
right.
God.
Next piece of news here. Joel Embiid suspended for 3 games after he shoved a columnist. I tried desperately to see if there was any kind of video of this. I couldn't find anything. I don't know if you guys did, but
I didn't find the video either.
I
Trying to
don't
play
know.
Black Ops at home.
If he actually shoved a columnist, he should have been suspended more. To be honest with you,
It should have been 10 games if he actually did it.
Yes.
You
He's
can't
like,
put
why
your hands on the media, man.
Trying to
Like, why are people so soft?
I don't know.
These professional athletes are so goddamn soft these days. Like,
Especially
I'm not saying it, and I'm not saying it just because he's a Cowboy and I'm bringing it up, June. I'm not. But Diggs coming out of the locker room and just berating that columnist because he put something up on social media. You got Joel Embiid shoving people. You got just like they're trying to make an example. Like professional athletes think that just because reporters didn't play the game at a professional level that they don't know the game or they can't understand the game. I mean, there's so many people that are head coaches in this league that have brilliant minds, and they didn't play past high school, so you can understand the game without playing it. And why are you that fragile minded?
Right.
You're some of the biggest, most athletic people in the world. You're making millions of dollars, and you can't take a lick of criticism.
Look at James Harden, fat ass.
Come on, man. Again, see, James Harden would probably just belly bump you right now and knock you down. He'd probably be upset about that.
Fat bastard.
I don't know why it's so funny when Gene says it that way, but that's like the funniest damn thing I've heard all year whenever he calls James Harden a fat bastard. Like he's the fattest man in the league or something. It just everybody excuses the Joker in Denver of being a little chubby, but James Harden, fat ass, put that fat suit on, you little chubby fucker.
Last but not least, the Commanders traded for Marshawn Lattimore. Tell you what, I guarantee you, he's very happy to get up out of New Orleans.
Oh God!
Head up to a playoff team.
I mean, that's one of the best moves that the Commanders have made. For me, I wish they would have went out and got an offensive lineman, but getting somebody to help the backside of your defense, especially when you got Philly coming up, who can throw the ball, and you got a couple of teams that can throw the ball all over the place. It's good that you have you have a veteran like Marshawn Lattimore on your team, because they have young corners on that team. So and you know, you look at the head coach. The head coach loves veteran guys, loves them. So when you got a chance to get one, I think it was a great pickup, and it's going to do them well later in the season. So,
and I wasn't putting too much stock into. I don't know if you guys heard that report on Sunday. That there were players around the league that were telling their agents that, hey, if I'm going to get traded, I want to get traded to Washington.
That's not true.
But then all of a sudden, you know, like Lattimore gets traded there and they get somebody. I do think that Washington has the opportunity to actually build something that's competitive. I'm not saying they're going to be a Super Bowl favorite. I'm not saying that they're going to a Super Bowl or they're going to be a division favorite every year. But they have an opportunity to have something impressive to where like they're in the conversation in the NFC if they do it right.
Well, you know,
and they got a rookie quarter, and Jaden McDaniel's on a rookie contract, so they can get some of these people.
So you know what's going on up in DC right now, right? With the Commanders, they're trying to find a new stadium. They got to get a new stadium built because literally during a heavy rain, shit comes out of the pipes and comes down on people. That's how bad that stadium is.
Sounds like Sarasota.
Yeah. So I'm being dead serious. So that's
like
why
right
FedEx took their name off that stadium. So that's why it's just Commander Stadium now. Because FedEx got tired of them not putting any money, putting any stock. Well, they was losing sponsorships left to right. This team is like, they're on the brink. People don't realize this. The Commanders, if this season doesn't turn out well for them, this team is on the brink of collapse. We're talking about moving.
This is already a successful year for them. They're 7-2.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Are they 7-2? They're gonna make the playoffs.
I mean, you should see the headlines up here.
Success. But they got new ownership. They got a new general manager, new head coach, new franchise quarterback. Mike Shanahan is not, running Jaden McDaniels all over the damn place to break his knee. So I think McDaniels is going to be okay. So I think that actually be pretty good. Now that doesn't sound like good news for you, June, being in the NFC
It's
East.
music to his ears.
Yeah, he loves hearing that.
Shit,
Yeah,
this
James
week I
Harden
might
is
go
a
ahead and
fat
get
bastard.
a Jaden Daniels
They still
jersey.
can't beat us.
I'm seeing James Harden run up and down the court, and it almost looked like when he dribbles the ball, he's dribbling his belly at the same time. It's fucking crazy.
He's getting back into basketball shape,
He's-
baby. First couple weeks.
He looks like me if I put on a goddamn basketball jersey right now. That's just it's got bigger shoulders, but we about the same in the gut. About the same.
All right, that will do it for the first half of this week's show. We're going to take a halftime break, which is about 10 minutes. When we come back, we've got some comments to get to. We're going to take your guys' comments about the Eagles or Commanders, who is going to win the NFC East, and are the Chiefs going undefeated this year? So we will have G Money on the other side. And we're also getting to the Ride or Die in 5, where we give you the 5 best betting picks this weekend. We've got the Bengals and the Ravens, Steelers, Commanders, Jets, and Cardinals. A couple more games. So, June, thank you, sir, for joining us for another first half. Sad to see you leave our state, our beautiful state, but you will be missed.
Guess who's not sad? This guy.
Lord, I will miss you.
He wants to go back to the nation's capital for some goddamn reason.
I know,
Man,
right?
you just can't stop following our president around, can you?
Oh yeah, he's a
They've already
bandwagoner.
reserved his ticket for the inauguration.
He's a groupie. He's gonna be there for that inauguration.
I have
Yeah,
to work it. I literally have to work it.
That's awesome.
Oh, damn.
All right.
FEMA has to work the inauguration because there's going to be so many goddamn people shitting themselves when they see Trump put his hand on that Bible. They're going to lose all bodily control, and FEMA going to have to come in there and clean it up.
Folks, we'll be back in 10 minutes. So go get another drink or whatever you got to do. We'll be back shortly.
Go vote.
Go vote.
Oh.
A lot of popcorn. Well, there goes our points. There goes our points. Why are you so mad, man? He's so angry. They're going to the exit!
Henry on the carry. Held down by Levante David. Second and 11 at the 41.
You lucked out with Brady. You lucked out with Brady. Three.
Nah, shit don't matter. Better get
So you bet me 4-3?
Yeah, we 4-3, and we gonna win our division. Y'all will not.
No, you're not even going to.
Atlanta way better than y'all. You crazy as fuck.
Oh shit! Atlanta's way better.
Are the Chiefs going to go undefeated this year? I don't think so. I see them losing probably a game this year, maybe two. I don't think it's going to come to a top team. Like, they still have Buffalo left, Pittsburgh and Houston left. Those look like the three toughest games left on their schedule. I think they're going to beat Buffalo and Houston. I could see them losing to Pittsburgh. And it's on Christmas. They lost to the Raiders last Christmas. Not that that actually means anything, but it's in Pittsburgh, and I think that's going to be a very tough game for them to win. Besides that, I could also see them dropping a game to one of their divisional rivals like Vegas or LA. So I can't see them going completely undefeated. I really can see Pittsburgh upsetting them on Christmas, and then also maybe losing to like the Raiders or the Chargers. But let us know in the comments below, do you think that the Chiefs are going to go undefeated this year? Because with D-Hop in the mix, they're off to the races. Who do you guys think is going to win the NFC East? Do you think it'll be the Eagles or the Commanders? The Commanders are at 7-2, half a game ahead of the Eagles at 6-2. I'm going to give the slight edge to the Commanders and say that they hold on and maintain control of the NFC East, because looking at their schedules, they do have pretty similar schedules here. They both have a bunch of divisional games left. They both play the Steelers. Real difference is that the Eagles still have the Ravens to play and the Commanders do not. They've already gotten that L out the way. But there's a very good chance that the deciding factor will come down to their two matchups. They still got to play each other twice. I'm just going to assume that they split that, and I will still give the edge to the Commanders. But who do you guys think is going to win the NFC East? Man, if only the Eagles just didn't have their head in their ass for the first few games of the season. I don't know.
I'm here again over here at Miller's Ale House, AFR with you guys. Bucks fan here. We're here for Monday Night Football. Barry and Rashad, I want to hear from you guys.
Who defense is good? 28-21.
Bucks will come out on top. 24-26.
Is Baker going to bet? You think Baker over
250 passing yards?
no. They're loyal, but they ain't that loyal. Garrett, who do you think is going to win? Ravens.
I was a season ticket holder here for 7 years. Gave him up this year. Not buying it.
Is obviously a Ravens fan.
27-24. I got Ravens winning it. Good amount of points are getting scored tonight. I think Baker's going to bake. He hasn't played the Ravens defense yet.
If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
This
I'm bringing that slogan to y'all from Louisville, Kentucky. I'm affiliated with the PSP boys, the professional shit poppers out here. 21-14 Ravens. You're looking at the Super Bowl champs in 2024 this year. We're going to take it home, baby. And we're going to run it back on this.
Money.
Welcome back, folks. Welcome back to the second half of your favorite show on the internet as I finish pouring my second half shot. A little multitasking. G Money, what's going on?
Gentlemen, I'm missing being down there where it's warm. I'm up here where it's fucking cold. It's like 50, I don't know, it's like 45 degrees right now. As the temperature quickly drops.
And he still can't eat real food.
No. Today I actually was allowed to eat soft food. Fucking old on a goddamn disparaging parade diet. And finally, I said, "Yeah, you can start eating like soft sandwiches just on the right side of your mouth." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." Did that. And now this shit doesn't sit well with me because I've been fucking.
Is a soft sandwich like peanut butter and jelly? Like, because you keep saying sandwich, and I'm like,
That's
just
that or nasty fucking deviled ham shit.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I got you on an uncrustable diet. You out there with a kindergartner's lunch?
Yes, I am.
Hey, don't knock them Uncrustables.
Okay, well, Alan never left kindergarten apparently. Don't knock it on Uncrustable. Jesus Christ.
My son eats
But
those.
you can at least drink now, though. You can drink now, though. There you go.
Well, I'm not drinking tonight because that sandwich didn't fit well. So didn't want to mix alcohol with it. So I thought, you know what? We're just going to give it a few days.
Are you in your robe right now? That is fucking outstanding. That is the most G money thing.
You know, the ladies like it.
I mean, peanut butter and jelly chilling in my bathrobe. That is awesome.
Ladies like
it. We need to cheers.
All right, we need to go. Let's cheers.
It's quickly turning into a different show.
There's AFR after hours. Ladies, join us.
That's not a bad idea. We're all single pretty much.
I can only imagine what that would even look like. All right.
I guaranteed you when you take that robe off. All right, community comments.
Let's get to community comments. Yes, folks. This is the segment where we reply to what you said to the videos on social media throughout the week. We're going to start off with one moment, please. We're going to start off with the Commanders or Eagles. Which one's going to win the NFC East? I'm going to jump into YouTube here first. Mr. Hardy says Commanders. OG Meatball says Commanders. JD5 is the real deal. They just got to get better on defense. CT Eagles Celtics says Saquon dropped the game-winning catch against the Falcons. We have 1 legit loss, but 2 on the record. Skins have 6 legit wins and 7 on the record. Let's get past the first matchup before we crown Washington. Not sure what heads up asses besides the Tampa Bay loss. Oh, that's because I said that the Eagles had their heads up their ass the first couple games of the season.
Oh, but what is a legitimate win and a legitimate loss? Like, you either win or you lose.
Yeah,
like, even in my argument about the Lions and the Chiefs, I have to own the fact that the Lions lost the game. That's a legitimate loss.
Right. I'll take all the most illegitimate wins you want to give my team. Like, I'll take them all.
Yeah, you will. so will I, a Seahawks fan right now. We lost to the goddamn Giants. We call that illegitimate.
Right.
Half a game from that. No,
it is illegitimate, so it doesn't count.
We don't give half wins. We were playing Daniel Jones. I don't care if we lost. Give us a point. It's half.
William McMillan says Eagles all the way, and Young Money says, to be honest, it's probably going to be the Giants. Right, Young Money getting blocked.
What?
Over to TikTok.
Didn't it take Daniel Jones 600 days to score a touchdown in New York?
Hey,
I don't think
it's tough in New York.
Even when it's your home stadium. All right.
Almost everything.
On TikTok, June says Commanders because F the Eagles. Thanks, June.
Wait, Junebug?
Yeah, our own
Yeah.
June.
Didn't he just say the Eagles in the show?
The same June.
Did he not just tell me I was okay? Typical Cowboys fan. Okay, keep going. Jesus.
The Man Cave, shout out to Big Mike and the crew over there, says, Commanders, I said they would be second at the beginning of the season, but they're doing their thing. Dane B says, I'd give the edge to the Commanders for the same reasons you gave, and they've been more consistent. They've yet to play down to their opponent, but as a Commanders fan, Saquon Barkley gives me nightmares. Gary Reese says, Commanders. Papa Parr says, Eagles for sure. Jagger says, hoping Commanders. They look great. I would like to see an underdog team take it. K. Nils says, it's going to come down to coaching. Eagles' talent is insane, and the Eagles didn't have their heads in their ass. They just didn't have Lane Johnson, AJ, and Smitty. And then he got into an argument with somebody calling him out on that. Gabriel says, Commanders. Someone else says Commanders. Josh R says, hail to the Redskins. And Mike says, Redskins will not only win the NFC East, they will win the NFC Championship.
God.
What?
That's somebody living in the past a little bit there. I didn't hardly hear anything you said after June saying that Commanders going to win. Because he put up such a fight about Philly.
he did. Try to make it a case.
I wish he'd have brought that up while he was on the show.
I didn't even notice that he said that. In the last video where the Chiefs go undefeated, this is from TikTok. June, once again, says Chargers may get them one time. I don't know if that matches up with what he said an hour ago.
It does.
Okay.
He did say the Chargers might get him.
Dawson says it's either going to be the Bills or a division rival. For some reason, I just can't see them losing to the Bills. It seems like that's the Bills' kryptonite. And then Josh says maybe the Broncos because they sit their starters after clinching the 1 seed, which I could see that.
No, June did say, or no, somebody said the Broncos. That might have been Nestor. Nestor.
While he was eating his McNuggets, and he was commenting on the Broncos.
Right. As a Dolphins fan, he's got plenty of time to study all the other teams.
Yeah, it's better luck next year for us.
Yep, us too. All right. Let's get into the favorite segment of the week, the Ride or Die in 5, folks. This is where we give you the best, scientifically proven betting picks in the NFL this weekend. If I can get this off the screen, there we go. Last week, Nestor accurately corrected me. We did not all go 3-2 because Nestor went 4-1. He was leading all of us, and then the rest of the group here went 3-2. So we all won money.
He picked that Chiefs game. Only 2 people were right about that one. Would have been G Money and I. That's 2 weeks in a row that G Money and I have been alone on a game and we've won. Y'all should take some notes on that. When G Money and I are on an island, y'all might want to jump ship, swim ashore because we're partying.
Keep that in mind. So the overall game is over 500. I'm over 55. Malin over 51. G Money over 32, and Nestor over 28. So
all that says is we'll make you money.
Yes, folks.
You got that rent? You got that car payment?
We're like
You take that lady out on a date? Come on, man.
Whatever it might be. Year over year, good returns. We're like the fucking S&P 500.
Right more than we're wrong.
All right. Let's go tomorrow night. We got the Bengals at the Ravens. 6-point favorites are the Ravens, the home team. G Money, we're going to start with you. What do you like here?
Not a goddamn thing. In all honesty, you look at both teams. Since he played Baltimore close the first time that they played, I believe it's week 2 of the season. Man, you look at both games, but since he's going to be missing some players, T. Higgins is probably not going to play. Maybe missing an O lineman. And I don't know if even with, let's say Lamar, Lamar's going to play, but let's say he doesn't run like he normally does. I mean, I don't know if they can stop King Henry. So, I mean, they're both pretty even against the spread. You can't go there. Home dog, you can't. I'm just going to go Baltimore. I mean, because I can't look at the numbers and go, this team is that much better. But Baltimore's playing at home. So give me Baltimore minus the 6.
I'm going the same route here. I don't like the Bengals at all this season. They burnt us, I think, against the Eagles when we picked them like 2 weeks ago. Since then, and before then, they weren't playing well. I'm sorry. No. The Ravens are very good. The Bengals look like frauds this year. The Ravens should be able to cover 6 points at home. So, Malin.
Yeah, I went through the same exercise that G Money did with the point spreads, who the Bengals were. Like, I was looking for a reason to take the 6-point dog. Like, I was trying to convince myself to do it because that is a big number. But when I look at these two teams, since he's been very hot and cold, and Joe Burrow's only had, I think, like 3 really good games. And even though Baltimore has slipped up 3 times, and they've lost a few, Baltimore still has the number 1 offense in the league, I believe. There is just something I love about the Lamar Jackson and the King Henry thing. And even, like you said, even if Lamar Jackson can't run as much, I do like their number 2 running back in Hill. Getting a few more touches. Baltimore just has something going this year, and there's a reason why Lamar Jackson is one of the MVP favorites. So I'm gonna go out on that flimsy limb with you guys because it's such a big number at 6 points. It's a little flimsy. We're bouncing up and down a little bit on this limb. It's getting heavy. But I'm gonna go ahead and take Baltimore.
Nestor, you coming out on here on this limb?
I don't like this spread because it's a Thursday game and those tend to go crazy. But I just don't see how the Bengals can stop Baltimore. And I really don't like the Bengals running game. I feel like if you shut down Burrow, it's just very hard to get anything with Chase Brown. And Zach Moss is not going to be playing. I think he's injured. So not that it matters, but I don't like their offense, man. I don't, and I don't like that O-line at all. So yeah, definitely give me Boston.
You do raise a good point. I'm pretty sure our Thursday night record is pretty bad.
Not good. Not good. And fuck the Jets.
Yes.
They can kiss my ass.
Ridiculous.
That was just disrespectful what they did.
All right,
Sunday. You can logic out the win Thursday nights.
Sunday at 1:00. Got the Steelers going to the Commanders. Should be a great game. Commanders 3-point favorites at home. To lead this off. Oh man, I'm gonna stick with my guns to take the Commanders to cover the 3 points at home. I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. I really like the Commanders. I do think they're legit. This will be a close game, and I think they'll win this. very good chance this ends up being a push, and this is just like a last minute field goal. So, Commanders. Come on, Malin.
This one, you always pick these games that make me just want to like take a picture of my middle finger and just text it to you like multiple times throughout the week. Like you pick these games, they're just like asshole. The because part of me, I'm thinking, okay, I'm very bullish on Washington, like I just was in the first half of the show. It only having 2 losses, and having Jaden McDaniels and whatnot. And then I look at the Steelers; they only have 2 losses, and Russell Wilson is playing decent these last 2 weeks. Pickens is coming on. They just got Mike Williams from the Jets, which amounts to nothing. I don't even know why I said that. That was just filler while I'm trying to make a decision on the game. To me, I think it's going to come down to the running game and who has the better defense. I think that Pittsburgh's defensive line is going to give Washington's offensive line some trouble. You always give the home team 3 points. It's pretty much a pick 'em. I think Najee Harris is better than Washington's running game. Brian Robinson is still hurt. Don't know if he's going to play. Eckler is not the same back as Brian Robinson this year. I'm going to go ahead and go Pittsburgh on this one.
Nestor.
Damn it.
No, it sucks. Fuck you, Jalen.
If there's, this is. Honestly, I feel like the writing is on the wall for a Commanders loss because I don't know I feel like they're gonna really get into this Commanders O line, that defense. It's really gonna work through that, and I feel like I get a strange feeling Russell Wilson is gonna have a good game away. But I'm not gonna change my initial pick. So I'm gonna go with the Commanders here because they're on a great run, and I don't want to change my pick. So
I didn't even say one of the biggest reasons why I'm picking the Steelers on this one is that the Commanders needed a Hail Mary to beat Chicago, who has a really good defense, just like Pittsburgh has a really good defense. But Pittsburgh's offense is a lot better than Chicago's. But I think you're going to see similar offensive performance, maybe a lot of yards, but maybe not a lot of points from Washington. I didn't say that. I apologize. Sorry, Nestor, you might have picked Pittsburgh had I said that earlier, but now you're stuck in your pick.
He was sold on the Commanders. G-Money.
He was. So I'm taking Pittsburgh, and a lot of the reasons Malin is.
That's the win.
They have a better defense. But the other reason, of course, is that the Washington kicker has a hip injury. So they're pulling someone out of the stands to pick for them.
I'm just saying, Shamrock and G Money Island has been looking pretty good.
I also would like to throw out that the New England and Tennessee game last week.
Yeah.
Hey, that was stupid. Drake May, shut up. That was stupid.
He threw up that prayer, and I was watching the game, and I'm like, damn it. And I like,
Son of a bitch.
Thanks, because I have Stevenson on my fantasy team, and I got another 6 points. Oh, sad yet happy. Like, oh shit, lost on the ride and die. Don't run in fantasy. Okay, well,
I'm glad you got something out of that. I pity whoever you were playing against. All right, next game, 4:30. We've got the Jets and the Cards in Arizona. 1-point favorites for the Cardinals. Malin, we will start with you.
This damn near seems disrespectful to me that the Cardinals are only getting 1 point at home. As bad as the Jets have been playing all year, surprisingly, the Cardinals have been playing really good football. When you only give the Cardinals 1 point, it makes me feel like Vegas knows something that I don't, which they usually always know something I don't. because they're Vegas. But I'm still going to take Arizona and to point on this one. I just think the Cardinals have been playing really good the last 3 weeks. And the Jets have yet to play even like an above average mediocre game. So I'm taking Arizona.
Nestor.
Yeah, Arizona is they play hard, man. And I saw that against my Dolphins. They play really hard, and I feel like at home against an inconsistent New York Jets team, they could pull this one out. So, yeah, give me Arizona.
G Money.
Arizona. The Jets still have injuries on their O line. I mean, we saw that first half last week against Houston when Aaron was getting sacked. But I just and now they've got injuries on their defense on top of that. And really, if you're betting and you're looking at the injuries they have on defense, and you're going up against Arizona with a mobile quarterback who's going to run on your ass, it doesn't bode well. It doesn't bode well at all. So give me Arizona.
Yeah, Vegas really must know something that we don't, because I think we all look at this and say, easy, Arizona. And I'm going to fall right into that bucket with the rest of y'all. So give me the Cards at home.
The fact that this one feels like a layup, Jalen, means we're going to lose this game.
Exactly.
Because last week against Houston, that felt like a layup. And I don't feel good about it. Especially when we all pick them.
Yeah, but it happens. I mean,
all right, 4-1. 4-1.
Sunday night game, we've got the Lions at the Texans, and the Texans are 3.5-point favorites at home. Nestor.
I'm not liking the Texans lately. I'm not gonna lie. Not just because of the Jets game, but before that, they were showing a little bit of a slowing down, and it just doesn't feel like it's just because of Nico Collins being injured. I don't know. CJ Stroud looks a bit frustrated. Then on the other side, you got Detroit, which is pretty much one of the best defensive teams right now. So, give me the Lions. Definitely in this one.
G Money.
yeah, I can't see any reason not to take Detroit. They're a better team overall right now than Houston. As we saw against the Jets, Houston's O line. I didn't think their O line would be worse than the Jets last week, but it was horrendous. And CJ without Nico and without Stephon Diggs, he looked lost back there. Either his wide receivers weren't coming open when he needed them to, or they came open too late and he didn't see them. So I see that trend continuing. So I'm going to take Detroit.
Okay, hold on here. There's an error in this, the writing here. It's flipped. It's Detroit to cover 3.5.
Minus the 3.5.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what you wrote.
Oh,
You
on
put
my
that in
end,
the right order.
I put both of them as the same.
Oh.
So we're all still good. Everyone's still all right with their original.
Yeah.
Pick.
Well, I haven't gone yet, but yeah. Did you go? Are you taking? Taking Detroit?
Yeah, I'm taking Detroit to cover on the road
Okay.
because they are a very good team, and Houston looks a bit exposed right now. Not completely, but they look like a team that's missing some of their star players. So, yeah, go ahead, Malin.
I don't like Houston right now. With Mixon kind of banged up. He's good for like maybe one touchdown a game right now, but he's a little bit banged up. Akers is not Akers of the old. You got Nico Collins out. You got on Diggs out. CJ Stroud, 11. I just don't know where the points come from. I think they can put up some yards. But again, I think the best team in football can go into Houston and win a football game with 3.5 because they normally beat people by more than 3.5 when they win. So I'm going to go ahead and take Detroit on that.
Right. Last but not least, the Monday night game, Dolphins going to LA where the Rams are 2.5-point favorites. G Money, what do you like here?
Yeah, I look at this, I look at the game, and I'm like, well, Tua's back to Tua of old with Tyreek and Waddle and everything. They should cover that 2.5, but is he? And the Rams had to take it to overtime to beat my crappy Seahawks. Miami going to the West Coast. They don't play well on the West Coast. I'm going to take the Rams minus the 2.5. I kept looking, kept trying to figure out how I wanted to play this, and I'll go with the Rams minus the 2.5.
Yeah, if this was in Miami, I would take the Dolphins. But I really don't like the Dolphins on the road, especially on the other coast. I don't think Mike McDaniels is going to be able to scheme up something to stop the Rams offense. And with as rusty as the Dolphins, it's not like, they're a top of the AFC East team right now that's trying to maintain something. Like at this point, their season's basically over. So it's not like they're in some big contention here. So I'm going to take the Rams to take care of their business at home. In what should still be a good game, but it wouldn't surprise me if the Rams win this by like a touchdown. So give me the Rams to cover. Malin.
This is another weird one with Vegas. The Rams, like I said, you always give 3 points to the home team, right? And you got the Dolphins going from East Coast to West Coast, and you're only giving the Rams 2.5. That's a little bit of a cause to pause for me. I get that we took them to overtime. I get that. But also, Puka Nacua was ejected, I think, in the second quarter. That changed that Rams offense a little bit. Like Cooper Kupp was eating up our defense when Nacua was on the other side of the ball, and he was handled a little bit in the second half. But when you got both them playing, you got Williams at running back. You know about Williams at running back, Jalen. That's your guy in fantasy. I just think that Ram offense is a lot. And even though Miami has Tua, I still don't think they're firing on all cylinders right now. I think they're having some false starts, just like Seattle had a lot of false starts against the Rams. I kind of feel like that offense is a little bit of Jekyll and Hyde. I can't really trust it, so I'm going to go with the Rams.
Nestor.
For me, it's not so much going on the road as it is that I think the Rams are showing that with what is going on with Puka Nacua. He gets ejected, and now he's saying that he could easily transition from the NFL to the NBA. Be a walk in the park. What is going on? This is different Puka Nacua that we're getting.
Truth teller.
This man is in trouble. Give me the Rams because I feel like I think Sean McVay is leading this team very well, especially now that his wide receiver duo is healthy, and we have a good defense, but I feel like sometimes our secondary gets torched, and I feel it might be a high scoring game, but I feel like we're just gonna drop the ball in the end. So unfortunately, give me the Rams.
That was really good foresight there. He's saying it's going to be a tight game, but you're going to drop the ball in the end.
Watch.
Watch it actually happen. Though.
Watch it actually happen.
Watch there be some sort of fumble late in the game that decides it. Where start calling Nostradamus. Yeah,
Nostradamus.
That might happen. Nostradamus. So all I'm hearing right now is that G Money and I are going to go 5-0, and you guys are going to go 4-1. So that sounds pretty.
Is
good.
that what you're hearing?
Yeah.
We're all gonna go 0-5 and
1-4. No,
hey, we've been above 500 more weeks than not lately. Like the first 3 weeks,
Yeah, we're doing good.
The first 3 weeks
back
kicked
on
our
track.
ass.
We're back on track.
But I don't think anybody should be betting NFL games the first 3 weeks of the season, anyways, because nobody plays in training camp or preseason anymore, so you don't know who anybody is. But once we got our feet settled, we're doing good.
Right. All right, folks. That will do it for this week's show. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to mention before we get up out of here?
Ladies, join us right after for AFR After Dark.
Not even after hours anymore. Now it's after dark. God damn. I would like to point out that I think the coach of the Clippers, Lou, is it right? Tyronn Lue.
Yeah.
I think he just needs to shave the head. He needs to stop pretending like he don't got a widow's peak like me. He's trying to keep that hairline, and it's not working. It's a lot like he's looking a lot like 2009 LeBron right now. Lou is. That hair. Just put a headband on.
Yeah, his can go, and Van Gundy's can go too, because they were just showing him. He's got the opposite.
Van Gundy's been holding on to his for like 40 years.
Yeah,
for dear life, he's been holding on to that. That's terrible.
All right, that will do it, folks. We're going to wrap this up. Be sure to follow us on TikTok and Instagram at AFR Sports. That's at AFR Sports, spelled exactly how it sounds. And we'll talk to you all next week. Stay tuned after further review after dark, starting now. See you all next week.